Hi, my name is Lindsay Brooks. I currently am a graduate of SUNY New Paltz and am certified in elementary education grades 1 through 6. I was hired right out of college to work as a 6 through 8 English teacher at Harmony Christian School, a private school in Middletown, New York. 2 years later, I am now supervisor of the middle school department and also teach grades 6 through 8 history. I plan on earning my master's of science in instructional technology to be a certified technology specialist by the end of 2014. Technology, when integrated into the curriculum, revolutionizes the learning process. More and more studies show that technology integration in the curriculum improves students' learning processes and outcomes. Teachers who recognize computers as problem-solving tools change the way they teach. They move from a behavioral approach to a more constructivist approach. Technology and interactive multimedia are more conducive to project-based learning. Students are engaged in their learning using these powerful tools and can become creators and critics instead of just consumers. A reason for technology integration is the necessity of today's students to have 21st century skills. These 21st century skills include personal and social responsibility, planning, critical thinking, reasoning, and creativity, strong communication skills, both for interpersonal and presentation needs, cross-cultural understanding, visualizing and decision making, knowing how and when to use technology, and choosing the most appropriate tool for the task. Integrating technology into the classroom instruction means more than teaching basic computer skills and software programs in a separate computer class. Effective tech integration must happen across the curriculum in ways that research shows deepen and enhance the learning process. In particular, they must support four key components of learning: active engagement, participation in groups, frequent interaction and feedback, and connection to real-world experts. At Harmony this past year, we received used smartboards to put in every classroom along with projectors and laptops with software to teach with from. This has been a tremendous blessing, although it has been taking quite a bit of time to get them up and running. Over the summer, my husband and I spent a couple Saturdays to mount the boards to the walls and hook them up. We also noticed that teachers really need training on how to implement them effectively in the classroom. Many teachers at Harmony are older and have never used anything like a smartboard before. Being that we lacked so much technology for years, teachers are unaware of what tools they can access online and implement in lessons. We are having many in-services in the future for 45 minutes once a month that will hopefully alleviate some of the pressure and questions teachers have about interactive whiteboards. Being in the technologist specialist major, I have learned a lot of information about implementing ideas in the classroom. I have brought in 2 old laptops and even my Kindle to have students work in stations to work on certain activities. For example, I've had my students work on vocabularycity.com to work on vocab review as a short activity, and also have had students research specific ideas on designated sites and report back to the class about their findings. We also have a grading and lesson plan program called InfoDirect. From there, parents and students receive grades emailed instantly once put into the system and also can receive email announcements and reminders. This is also a great way for teachers and parents to stay connected. Being that I am experienced with implementing technology in the classroom and am continuously studying how to implement and train others, I feel that I can be a good technology specialist. As a technology specialist, I believe that it is important to follow the ISTE standards. ISTE stands for the International Society for Technology in Education. These standards are particularly good for students and allowing them to be able to utilize technology in ways that they can use for presentations and also learn how to implement it so that they may be able to use it in the future when obtaining a job or using that technology in a job. Some of these standards include facilitating and inspiring student learning and creativity, designing and developing digital age learning experiences and assessments, model digital age work and learning, promote and model digital citizenship and responsibility, engage in professional growth and leadership. I wanted to show you a couple activities about how to implement technology in the classroom. Two subjects I want to focus on are ELA and math, being that the Common Core standards truly focus on these subjects. One activity in English would be in middle school. I've actually done this activity with my students. Students will make a persuasion map to prepare for a debate. The best part is that basically the students will be able to use a persuasion map. This persuasion map is from readwritethink.org, and it is a very easy to use interactive map where students can implement their information, insert their information, and print out a worksheet at the end to use to structure whatever they're making. For example, they would be making a debate in this activity. So for this activity, students are going to be exposed to the true story of the Three Little Pigs by John Sieska to get the wolf's perspective. This story is really great because everyone has heard of the Three Little Pigs, and this story really goes into the wolf side and how the wolf is really innocent as opposed to the Three Little Pigs being innocent. So after we read the story and we have a little discussion, the class can be separated in half by who is for the wolf and who is for the pigs, and create a persuasion map to prepare for a debate. Students, if outside this activity, if you would like, they can also use this persuasion map to pick a topic, maybe even on their own, or the teacher can choose a topic in the news to choose to make a map on and debate in the classroom as well. So I'm going to show you this persuasion map using readwritethink.org. And it pops up right to the site, and you click to get started. And simply, it's gives you all the information right here. Are you ready to map out your argument for your persuasive essay or debate? So you would enter your name. My name is Lindsay. Your title. I'm going to say the three pigs are guilty. And then I would get started. And then it brings you right here to a thesis. A thesis is a statement that describes one side of an arguable viewpoint. What is the thesis or point you are trying to argue? So the students would put in their thesis, and then they would be brought down to their reasons supporting their thesis. And again, it gives you an explanation about your main reasons and what you need to do to really convince that your thesis is true or valid. After you're done completing your reasons, you're brought down to your examples. You can also use this map to guide you through the map as well, being that if you just use the arrows, it might take a little bit longer to get to the box that you want to choose. Then at the end, you can click on this box for your conclusion, and it gives you some information about your conclusion. So once students put in information about that, you would click finish, and it brings up this worksheet here. And that would be completely filled out with the students with their information they put in, and teachers can look through that to make sure that things are properly filled in. Teachers can print this for the students. Students can save this and go back if they didn't get time to finish, or if they wanted to change something. They can also share it. They can email it to themselves or to another student or to the teacher, and so on. So again, a really great tool, especially for this debate activity. So going back to my PowerPoint, a math activity that I'd like to show you is where students basically are going to be making a timeline. And students have always been making timelines in all sorts of different classes, and this would be really good to actually incorporate history and math together, making a differentiated lesson. So basically, students will be researching presidents and creating a timeline based on the time periods in which each president served. So it's using numbers and math. And to really build up on this activity, students can then compare the length of the president's term using a graph to visualize the period of time each president served. So to look at the timeline program, again, readwritethink.org, really great website, has some really great interactive tools. Simply click Get Started. Again, very self-explanatory. Gives you some information about what a timeline is. You can organize your timeline by date, time, event. I'm going to type in my name to get to the next step, and I'm also going to type in simply presidents. Now students would probably be a little bit more specific. And then it gives you the whole entire timeline here, and you would just simply click or tap the timeline to add items. Again, very self-explanatory. Click on here, you put your label in, a short description, full description, and you can even put an image in. Students can choose that to see what's going on. And then you can also preview the information that you put in once you are done with your little box there. So when you're done, you would click the check, but I'm going to click X since I didn't put any information in there. What's nice is you can also drag items in the trash can there if you made a mistake and you want to delete something and then redo something. When you're done, you can click finish, and again it would bring you a nice little worksheet here where students can print this out. They can also save it to go back. They can send out this worksheet. So for example, if they wanted to put this into a presentation program such as PowerPoint, they can upload it onto PowerPoint. So again, a really great tool and very self-explanatory where students can create a great timeline. Another website that I wanted to show you is called Dippity.com. Unfortunately, though, with Dippity, students would have to make an account. But it's also a really great timeline creator, and students can create their timeline incorporating pictures. It's a little less descriptive as the Read, Write, Think website. I feel like that's a little bit more user-friendly. But students are able to share their timeline to each other if they have an account. They can email it to other people. Unfortunately, they won't be able to print it, which again gives Read, Write, Think another great jump over Dippity. But it's another great website for students to use if, this is what the teacher would like to use. So overall, again, I really feel that it is very important for the technology specialist to bring up these ideas and share this information to other teachers and really express how technology can switch up the roles in the classroom. Technology really helps change the student-teacher roles and relationships. Students take responsibility for their learning outcomes, while teachers become guides and facilitators. Technology lends itself as a multi-dimensional tool that assists that process. For economically disadvantaged students, the school may be the only place where they will have that opportunity to use a computer and integrate technology into their learning. So that was my presentation on instructional technology, and have a good night.